Hey everybody, welcome to our Bloom Lunch and Listen, and this is Kelsey, and it is 1 o'clock on Wednesday. We're going to be joined in just a minute by Heather, so let's just give a second here. How's everybody doing? Cheers. Hi Heather. Okay, here we go. Hi Mary. Hope everybody's having a great day. Short work week. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh,
Hi.
so nice to talk to you.
You
Welcome
too.
to my Bloom Lunch and Listen.
Thanks for having me. Hi, guys.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you. And I can't believe I was just in your state. Sorry, I'm turning it up a little bit. I was just in your state. I could have done this in person, right?
Next time.
I know, right? Okay, we'll do that. I do plan on doing some pop-ups in some cities, so maybe LA will be one. So
Perfect.
Friends, thank you for joining me. It's Kelsey with Bloom and our Lunch and Listen, and I've got Heather on here, and she is a self-love, I'm going to say expert, but aficionado and an author, and she's got some really cool things that she sells too that helps to spread that love as well. So I can't wait to hear all about these things. You're a busy gal.
I'm a very busy gal.
I know. Okay, so tell everybody, who are you? In your words, who are you?
I am a woman who realized a few years ago that I wanted more out of life. And I went on a very deep personal journey of really rooting down to figure out who I was and what this internal need and desire was to live my best life, and what did living my best life mean, especially nowadays with everybody on social media. I wanted to live more authentically. So I started this journey and I called it my self-love journey. Self-love has kind of been one of those trending topics, but no one's really dug into what it actually means yet, other than, yeah, we can self-care all we want. We can take bougie baths and kind of live this luxurious life that we create for ourselves. But I wanted to talk about the deep-rooted things, like what are your insecurities and why do you have them, and how can you move past them, and what holds you back to go forward and live your dreams and figure that out. So my journey started about 10 years ago.
You're cutting out a little bit.
And by year 5, oh, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
There we
Okay,
go.
so
Better?
yes, so kind of just
There we go.
at the point where you were ready for your journey, and what does it mean, the self-care itself, self-love itself?
Yeah. And about 5 years into it, it dawned on me that what I was teaching myself, I needed to help teach other women. I just saw so many people struggling. A lot of women, just because women are in my tribe, but more recently I've discovered that a lot of men are struggling with this too. I don't think they would call it self-love, they would call it self-worth. Tomato, just a more masculine versus feminine version.
Right, that's so true.
Yeah, we all have our, as my friend Ryan would say, we all have our greatest hits of things that we wish we didn't do and moments we wish we weren't like that. And so I wanted to dig through the things that I wish I hadn't done and go back and understand why I made that choice in the first place. And then knowing that choice that I made and moving forward and not making choices like that again. I call it ownership. Like you really own your shit.
Yeah, I like that.
It's fun, right? I love taking words and making them new words. And I've always been a writer. That was always my main passion. And I realized, oh, I can write a book about self-love and my journey and teach other women, like, here's the blueprint that worked for me. Take what works for you and take this as inspiration to create your own path. So, yeah,
okay,
that's
so
kind of
I
the
like
backbone.
a little bit of a self-therapy, if you will, self-help therapy. By going back and taking ownership of those mistakes. And I mean, we've all made mistakes. Like your friend Ryan said, we all have that list of, what did he say?
The greatest hits, like an album.
I think that'd be the greatest lows, but okay. I don't know.
It's your greatest lows of your greatest hits, of like moments that you relive and you're like, oh, I did that? That's an awful choice. But we all have them. Oh
my gosh. So that's how you figured out the right way to kind of provide your own self-worth, is by going back and digging through those and figuring out how you could have done it differently so you don't do it again.
Exactly.
So you don't feel the shame, I guess.
Exactly. Because I think until we dig deep to understand our previous choices, we're probably going to still make similar choices. And I call it the infinity loop of either chaos or the infinity loop of self-love. And I have a jewelry line that I've done with
yes, that's right,
infinity loop.
Okay, and get closer. Show everybody that. Yeah, you have what, 8 necklaces on there or something?
I've got 4 necklaces.
Okay.
And I've got another line coming out hopefully by this fall with some bracelets and bracelets and rings. But the idea is that if all of our thoughts and patterns are on this like repetitive loop, right? We're always doing the same things. I mean, even our daily lives are pretty same. Like we wake up, we go brush our teeth, we make our bed, we go make our coffee. Like everything's on a repeat. So our thoughts are they're very repetitive as well. So I wanted to have a tool to look at, physically wear, to remind myself, okay, if my thoughts are always on repeat, I just need to make sure they're really clean, positive, happy thoughts versus those negative thoughts that can kind of spiral us down into a low self-worth state. And not that we don't have moments like that, of course we do, but when you have the reminder of like, oh wait, hold on, let me snap out of this. That's what's important.
Let me center myself again. And you kind of call those, do you call those affirmation necklaces, or is that the candle?
The candles are the affirmation candles. The necklace is just a little charm that I don't really have like a name for it, just self-love jewelry.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think affirmation too, like, just even, how some people will write Post-it notes and put, their top quotes that they really love, or notes for themselves. And it's the same idea. It's an affirmation necklace of affirming that you should love yourself. Totally. So I love that.
I wanted to bring physical tools into the world of self-love and self-help, because so many of us have thousands of self-help books, and they're great, but what other aspects are we actually participating in our daily lives besides just reading? I wanted an action.
Right. And I'm an action person too. It's hard for me to sit down and read, but if you put something in front of me, like your necklace or your candle, which I want you to tell us about, that does help me. I'm kind of a visual person I don't know if that's right, because you're reading and that's visual too, but I need something in front of me to remind me. Yeah.
And I think it's a powerful thing to not only have your affirmation in your head and say it aloud, but I conquered that. And if I can conquer my old emotions that I stuffed under the metaphorical rug, there's nothing I can't do.
Right. Which we all need to learn from. Okay. So now I'm just going to be a little bit personal here. How did you, pay your bills and take care of yourself were you in LA? Because LA is an expensive city. I mean, my sister lives there. I know exactly how it goes. She does similar things to what you do. And so how did you do that while writing a book? Were you waitressing? What were you doing? Give us the real deal.
I've been in LA for almost 11 years. It is now my home. I'm originally from Atlanta, but I've had a job for the last 7 years where I've been an executive assistant, but I get to work from home 90% of the time. So my schedule is very much my own to create. So I've been very blessed in that regard of, yes, I have work to do that pays the bills, but I also had the flexibility to say, you know what, I worked for my money job from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 11 to 2, I get to do my own thing because I don't really have anything else going on. So, but I mean, a lot of people would say that's like a blessing and a privilege that I had. And yes, it was, but I also had to cultivate the discipline to actually sit down and write and create. Because I think a lot of people have a lot of that like free time where they could be doing something, but they don't have the discipline to sit down and do it.
They're scrolling.
Totally. And I find myself still scrolling sometimes. And sometimes I scroll and I find inspiration, or I'll find someone new that I want to connect with, like I found you.
I know. I was going to say, that's how it works, though.
That is how it works. But then other times I'm like, I'm just sitting here wasting my time. I just need to put my phone down and focus on my projects.
that's really smart. You're right, though. Discipline is huge, but I think you probably have that because of the self-love. I love your saying that self-love is, what was it, necessary to help you get through your struggles, to
Yeah,
help you
it
overcome
helps
your struggles.
helps people with your struggles. We all have struggles.
Mm-hmm.
They creep in from time to time. We're human. It's just part of the journey. And I do believe that everybody's struggle
But I can get them. Uh-oh. That
oh,
was my Instagram reminder telling me how long I've been on Instagram.
oh.
That's a self-care thing I started for myself. How long have you been on Instagram a day?
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
scary,
and
right?
so
It's like,
that's,
uh-oh.
I know, right? Like, slow down. But I love it because, you know, that's why we're connected. And that's, again, why I'm doing the Lunch and Listen, so that I've got,
That's
you
so
know,
great.
giving you this stage to talk to our community and your community and share some of those nuggets of wisdom. So, I mean, you've learned what you need to learn. What are a few takeaways that we could walk away with if you were to sit down in front of us and you were on our stage right this minute? Pretend this is our Bloom stage.
Yeah.
What would you share with everybody to walk away with?
I think the most important thing that you can learn in life is that your thoughts run your entire show. And when you think positively, you have a more positive life experience. And when you think negatively, you have more negative experiences. And it's also going to take time to go from wherever you are now to a totally self-loving, positive place, because we have years of our childhood, all the stuff we have to own about ourselves. We have years of conditioning on us that we have to.
You froze for a sec. There you go.
Oh,
Years of conditioning on us. Yep.
yeah, years of conditioning on us. And it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get to that self-love place. What matters is that you start the journey and you take one step at a time.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that was a perfect note to end on. And so thank you so much for joining me. Friends, I
Thanks for
want you
having
to,
me.
I love meeting people like this. It's so fun, and I hope I get to see you in person at one of our Blooms. Hi,
100%.
Kyrie. Kyrie's on our team. So I think, can you tell everybody what are the best spots to find you? Your website?
My Instagram, my book. Go love yourself.
Oh, that's right. That was one of my favorite covers I've ever seen.
Thank you.
I love your cover.
I love it. I'd seen it in a dream while I was writing the book, and I was like, oh, I have to have the F word on there and cross it out. So that was that dichotomy of like, there's so many people living not nice lives with the F word, and they don't even know that they're living this negative space. But
right.
Yeah, thank you. The book cover was
I
far.
do love that book cover.
Thank
I
you.
absolutely do. Yeah, she said that cover is
on,
amazing.
It's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. It just went up on Audible a couple of weeks ago, which was really exciting.
Did you read it yourself?
I
Are
did.
you reading
yes.
it? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Which was really fun. I went into it really nervous, like, oh my God, I've never recorded anything. What is this going to be like? And I loved it. It was so fun.
Oh.
Yeah, the book's pretty much everywhere books are sold online, and candles are on my website, which is heather-reinhardt.com. Also available on my Instagram profile. You can see the little link tree. But yeah, I'm pretty DMable. I love talking to people. Doesn't matter if we've met or not before. I always find a connection somehow, some way, and find that we're way more similar than we are different.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, you're super approachable, and I think that's important. I think the only other question I have, I love how you explained, and those kind of the nugget of wisdom to take away is that, you know, the more negative you think, the more negative things are going to be for you. The more positive you think, the more positive things will be. What about those people that can't pull themselves out of that negative spot? I mean, how do you help them? How do you help them? Or is it's their own journey?
It's their own journey. And if it's someone that I really care about, like a friend or a family member, I just keep encouraging and I keep pushing light and love towards them. I'll give them gifts that, you know, I'll send them books that I think might help them. I pray for them. I do a lot of praying in my meditations. I just like to send really good thoughts to people. But at the end of the day, it's their journey. But I think that the best thing that we can do for those types of people is just be a good friend.
I love that. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad I had a chance to talk
Yeah,
to you, and
same.
hopefully we can visit another time.
Yes,
Thanks
I
for
hope
joining
so.
us, everybody.
Thanks. Bye, guys.